here in Wake County. And my colleague,
I'm Kristen Poe. I'm currently the counselor at Pico Elementary, but I'll also be presenting when I was the aging teacher there as well.
And I'm Sharon Hornaday. I'm the media coordinator for Educreations Elementary School. And they promised me I wouldn't have to talk.
so we were told that many of you, this might be the beginning of your journey of using iPads for education. So we would like to share with you where we started and then have opportunity to share with you where we are now. It's a very exciting journey, and we know that if you are waiting to get started, that this is probably old school for you. But when the students, 2 years ago actually, when we did this for the North Carolina Technology Institute, we decided to, with the 25 iPads that we had in our school, to make better use of them. I have a little more flexible schedule as the math coach going into all K through 5 classrooms. And part of my professional development goals was to integrate technology in mathematics. So my goal was to do something with the iPads, and as you know, once you show students how to work it, then they take it to other levels. And even though she doesn't want to speak, I want to give great acknowledgement to Mrs. Hornaday. Whenever Mrs. Hornaday finds out about something that is new and exciting in technology, she learns it and then immediately teaches it to the students. Then the students go out into the individual classrooms and teach other students. So you don't have to feel like you're the only ones that have to know how to do it. You actually just introduce the idea to them, and then they will take it from there. So without Ms. Hornaday, I wouldn't have known what to do, and Mrs. Poe.
I had to keep up with the aging students at the time, so they already knew how to use the iPad. Ms. Hornaday helped teach me. I bought my own iPad, and we went from there.
Right, so we would like to start with showing you how Ms. Hornaday used the iPads for a number of different elements. And when we presented this at the NC Ties, we just wanted to provide you with a view inside the classroom because we feel that that's the best way to see how everything works. Sorry, I guess I'll just need to do this. Huh? You know it's Mr. Hornaday?
It's got to spin up first. It's asleep.
There you
There
go.
you go. There you go.
This is a colonial fair that I do every year for the
Take
right.
some silver, you melt it in a furnace, and then you roll it into a silver object. People would bring in their coins to silver scissors, and then you would melt it in the. Here is a picture of two of the hammers, and this circle thing right here, that is another thing that they use for decorations. And then this is a picture of the 50 to 60 hammers that they use. And then this is a picture of some of the scribes that they use. And as you can see here, like I said, there's a little tip right there that they use to write the names. These hammers, church came to get things fixed. This is working in the smithy. Here are some hammers that they used. We've used things like a motor and pestle to crush ingredients. Our ingredients are made from natural remedies. Like in this photo, it's a picture of an apothecary garden. And in this garden, we spread all of the herbs and things we need to use for medicine.
Thomas and I'm doing woodworking. Earliest documented cabinet maker in Williamsburg is Peter Scott. The cabinet maker made spindles for staircases, lights for chairs,
similar to a cube. And this is a man playing the fight right here. Now I have 2 more pictures on the iPad. This, I thought it was pretty cool. This was the glass handbells. And then my favorite instrument, this is called the glass harmonica. And what they did, it was similar to a piano because it had the 2 little steps down there, but then it had this bowl of water right there. And you dip your finger in the bowl of water and then swipe your finger across these little bell-looking things. And that's how you would make music. Like this, I'm guessing, is like the deepest sound, and then this is the high pitch. Hope you guys enjoy it.
First one says legends are folk tales. They were usually told by the word of mouth and handed down for many generations. The second characteristic is that they have to have some basis and verifiable fact. They have to start with the truth. It has to be a true person or a true place in the legend. Legend of their life. Is that a good place? Next, number 4. They were greatly exaggerated as they were told over and over again. They stretch the truth sometimes to make the story more interesting. Okay, and 5, they were totally okay. Okay, so when you get your iPad, you should click on the icon on the second page that says Home Tutor. And this is more Caroline's this version. This part just wanted me to tell y'all that the kids that I was working with were not all aging kids. A lot of them were just average kids. But they were very engaged because of the use of our kids.
So, 2 years ago, I was AG teacher at Fuquay Elementary, and as I already told you, I had to keep up with the learning of my students. A lot of the resources that I had as an AG teacher did not involve technology. So I tried to use those really good lessons that we do have in the classroom and add technology combined with it. So in the video with mine, you will see our stock market project, and we used the Yahoo stock apps to see the shortcuts. We just put them on the computer so that they could track the stocks, see their progress. I gave them fake money to invest in a stock project. And the great part is the 5th grade teacher I was working with, she wanted to make sure there's also evidence of the learning, not just playing with the iPad. So as you can see in the video, we have worksheets that go along with the iPad. So as we all know, technology doesn't work perfectly every time. So they would track their stock and keep track of it. The other project that I presented in the video are with a group of 3rd graders who are not AG students, but who showed a lot of talent in the classroom, and we did the color poetry. So I took an old lesson from Hailstones and Halibut Bones, color book, and we took the iPads on a field trip around the school and found the color of their choice, and then they wrote a poem about it and presented it in Keynote. So here's my video. Oh yes, I'm sorry. And the last one was the checkbook challenge with math. So my math AG students had a real world project. It's a scholastic book that I had in my classroom. And it has real world projects but no technology. So I added in the checkbook app, and the students tracked all of their finances and their purchases and their debits on the checkbook. And then at the end, you'll see there's graphs. They could analyze how much they spent, how much they saved. And so it brought in that whole piece, and they really enjoyed it. This is the stock.
Dr. Reed on Friday. Think about realistic. How much is it meaning each day? How much do you think it'll be worth on Friday? You're going to use your graphs.
We would do that process on a daily basis if the tracker stopped for 2 weeks.
Which is a math approach, is the structured approach to problem solving.
And then this is the component, we make sure they were documenting. So we can see here. 2 years ago, they created these projects, but now they're probably creating iMovie or something else to show their knowledge of what they learned.
$290.55. Give me a thumbs up if you've got that math in your chest point. We're going to do the math. So we put our iPads to the side. Take out your notebook.
They wanted to use the calculator.
Write down day 6. And what is the first operation that you need to do to complete this transaction? All right? Thumbs up if you have that answer. Transaction list on our checkbook. There, over to the right side, shows your transactions. Underneath that is a blue, yellow, and pink square. Those show the types of transactions that have been reported. I want you to go to the pink square, and a circle graph will pop up. And I want you to look under press income. What do you notice about this graph?
100% of the circle graph is for salary.
Right. How much have you guys earned in your salary?
$29.05.
And why do you think it's only taken 100% of your salary? Why is it the only color on the circle graph? Right?
Because it's the only income that we've had so far.
Yes, it's the only income that we've reported. Now I want you guys to hit expenses. What do you notice that's different about this circle graph? Matthew?
There's a piece of it that's going from
Good. So why are there different colors on this graph?
because we've done more than one debit.
We've done more than one debit. That's right. We've done different transactions. So what can we notice from this chart? Where do we spend most of our money? Where have we spent most of our money so far? What's the least amount of money we've spent so far? Eating out. Very good. Boys and girls, this morning we're going to use keynotes on our iPads to take our color poetry and create a presentation with our color poem. We're going to go outside and use the camera app to take pictures of what you found around the school that represents your color. We will then use those pictures and upload them into Keynote to create a presentation of your color poem. Are we ready for our first? Look around like you would for a picture. Decide what you want to take a picture of. Stop your body. Open up your iPad and then take your picture. Give me a thumbs up. I wanted to walk with the iPad. If they couldn't find the picture around our school, then they could explore the web and take a picture of it, which now we know that the home button and the on and off button just takes a screenshot, but 2 years ago.
We also taught the children how to give copyright when they took the pictures onto the internet. That's what she keeps us grounded.
Taxonomy and everything we learned that are great instructional practices and take the lessons that we already love to teach and incorporate technology. So this was 2 years ago. We had 5 iPads in the Media Center and only 20 maybe in the whole school to check out. So I checked them out for these certain projects, and we just started small with the lessons that I love doing, added technology, and moved forward to some of the lessons we'll show you in a little bit of what we've done. Ms. Herrick?
Now we have 150 iPads in our school, and we had to make a big plea for the 10 that we brought to the conference because they're constantly used. Are there any questions about what you've seen so far before we move on to the next one? And may I ask by a showing of hands, how many of you are familiar with the free app Show Me? A few of you, all right? So Show Me is a free app for the iPads that is an interactive whiteboard. And from the Show Me, we've learned about Educreations, which we'll show you in a little bit. And my goal for this 3rd grade classroom with Ms. Pettis as the math coach during the math time, was I wanted to show her some things where she would feel confident when the students were glued to the iPad that it was going to be effective in their learning. And I'm not always about the data, but because we want to make sure that our lessons are effective, we do take a look at the data. All of the students in this particular classroom passed the 3rd grade EOT in math because of their experience. With Ms. Pettis allowed me to try her class as a test class for doing Daily 5 math. Daily 5 math was different than Daily 5 reading in that you get to 5 over a 5-day period of time. The teachers weren't comfortable with giving up the instruction time that was necessary to present the concepts. But then we rotated the students using paper practice, so they would do some of the work that was provided for us in paper. They would do problem solving, and we had collaborative roles for students. They would go onto the computer and we would select specific math games that they could use. And then we had, with the 2 iPads that we had in their classroom, we introduced some of the apps that you'll see in the video. We also have tools with teacher time. And then the students now, we're seeking to have them do problem solving and writing about their math. And part of that is number for the day. So we give them manipulatives, money, they have the criteria to do 6 different ways to come up with a number, which gave them the number sense. So you will see in this presentation how the iPad was used for this math class. I keep forgetting that I just need to.
Equals
This was number for the day.
Also, you can do 50, and then just bring down 0, that will equal 500. And then do this again, and do it 4 times. And then if you do it like this, go 1,000. Thank you for watching.
I know it goes for explaining itself, but if you ask your students with a pencil and paper, show me all the different ways you can get to the number 2,000, you might get 2 examples. I'm certain that you wouldn't get over 3 minutes worth of their explanation. It also allows them to find their own errors and make those corrections, because they know they're recording their thinking, and they almost hear themselves say something wrong and they can correct it.
Problem solving, and I wanted to show you. First, I go to Show Me, then I go to Menu, Then I look for it, problem solving, tap on it, hit play.
Each symbol is an equation represents a limited number. The equation is defined as a each symbol. Begin with the multiplication equation.
Alright, so 1 equals flower. It says heart minus 3 equals star. And then, so under heart we have a minus 3 equals 5. And so, circle times heart equals 48. Well, circle, like we said, is 6, so 6 times, and then 8 equals 48.
Early introduction to algebra.
Right, so those have to be flipped. You got it. They are the prime numbers. Some even. When you're adding these two numbers together, what are you trying to create? Ooh, now you've got something. So you could do that. Plus one and good. You see which two digits are together? You do that for now. 9. Ooh.
Come on, kids. You had some good bubbles on that one, huh?
Beat it. 6 plus 1 plus 3 plus 5.
Hey, how come you guys had more?
Just put your face here. You gotta wait for you. Look how many fours there are. Wait, was it you?
Now, I want you to add numbers up to see if I'm right. The way I taught you makes sense.
Well, one of the reasons that I like Show Me is because it lets you show all of your hard work and you can record yourself instead of just saying the whole thing again when you write in your journal and then show it to the class. It takes less time, and it's fun to use like the iPad for different things. So that's why I like Show Me.
Something I like about Show Me is that you can do pretty much any math problem on it. And you can choose a different color that you want to represent different things. And you can pretty much do anything. You can do just a little fun thing and teach your class how to do it. And that's why I like Show Me. Bye.
I like Show Me because you can do whatever you want with it. You can do a math problem, you can draw cartoons, you can make comics, and the best part about it, it's better than writing with a pencil instead of pencil and color. And you can change your pen. You can change the color that you're writing in, and instead of having to erase everything, you just erase the whole thing easily. And that's why I like Show Me. Thank you.
One of the reasons I like Show Me is because you get to hear yourself back, and then sometimes you get nervous, you can pause it and think. And another reason is because when I'm in daily math stations, I can use it in math skills like number of the day and problem solving. all the time. And for like number of the day, you can show how you did it instead of just like recording yourself doing it because it takes up more time. And Show Me is just like that. That's why I like Show Me.
So I'd like to share with the Show Me app that we are now using it in kindergarten and first grade. This was with third graders, and now we've brought that down, and the teachers have found it as an effective use, and little students who normally don't talk, as soon as they have an opportunity to show their work, out it comes. We've also had, in a rotation for math, we have found that the students really love to have the math questions that usually come on a worksheet posted around the room. So we created a 3-position team, a student collaborative team, for the second grade. We have the reader, and they ask the first question based upon the questions in the mathematics classroom. What have you done so far, and what is your next step? We have a videographer that actually uses the video camera to videotape them, explaining their thinking, and the problem solvers. So 2 students, did I say a group of 3? Maybe I said a group of 4, but the 2 students solve it on the whiteboard, and they're practicing what they're going to say before they say it. So they have had the experience of using Show Me or Educreation in which to do that, and now we're moving them into the creative part. What happens with this is the students then create this independently and put the iPads on the teacher's desk and say, the evidence of my learning is sitting on your desk. It's a beautiful thing to hear. And also with the mathematic practice standards, it's very difficult. We're bringing in a generation of students who haven't had the experience even in 5th grade now to explain their mathematical thinking. So to create viable arguments and critique the reasoning of others, those are pretty big things to ask of young students. But if you break it down and give them sentence frames and the tools of technology, they become very successful. And then they report back to me what needs to be changed. We have Apple TV in some of our classrooms, but we also have the toggle that attaches to the monitor for the smart boards in our school. So at the end, we always have for closure to show the videos that the students have made, or the Show Me that the students have made, and they are critiquing their video to say, next time I'm going to speak closer to the camera. Next time I'd like you to hold it more still. Next time I'm going to put my whiteboard on the table so I can see it and point to the different locations. It's a beautiful thing to see, because what we want to create in our school and for our young ones is exactly what you saw today with the high schoolers from the academy. They're problem solvers. It's almost like when a problem comes, let them at it. They want to solve it. So we want our children to do that as well. And problem solving using technology seems to be a lot more fun if they run into a problem. We as educators, who, especially elementary educators, who tend to spoon feed our children, do this, do that, do the other, they do need a structured approach, but they also need the freedom to fail a little bit, and we refer to that as Dewey did a long time ago, the disequilibrium that's necessary in order for learning to occur. So this is a much nicer way in which to do that, so just jump right in.
Last year at NC Ties, we decided not to do a presentation, but yet to show off some of the students' work that they have created. So we applied for the student showcase at the technology conference, and transitioning to the counselor role, I was just dying to figure out how I could do technology in those lessons that I was going to teach. So with the 5th grade students, I used Educreations. How many of you may be familiar with that now, especially after the little ones came today? And they used our Guidance Essential Standard with financial literacy, and they created a project that I would like to pull up. Is that okay? So the great thing about Educreations is it's web-based and on the iPads. The students can create the lessons on the iPad. But as a teacher, you can have all your accounts on the computer. You can certainly go into it from your iPad as well, but all your student accounts are on there. So I'm going to pull that up.
While she's pulling that up, since we become familiar with Educreation, we're also now launching that as the tool for teachers to use to do flipped lessons. It is an easier way for the teachers rather than to have the video camera facing them as they're doing something on their smartboard to create an Educreation lesson. You can have an account, give that account information to your students. They can find the Educreation lesson that you can download images and put in the text that you want. And from that, the teachers have given specific instructions for what they want the students to do. The one teacher who agreed to do that was a 5th grade teacher teaching science. The flipped assignment was to go to Scholastic Study Jams and watch the video, and then write in their science journals what their learning was, because at the end there was a quiz. May I ask how many of you are from elementary school level?
Great.
Awesome. Sort of.
Well, I'm a technology director, so
Oh,
I'm responsible for all that.
I'll work on that in just a second. Are you guys connected to our Emoto account? Okay, so in there we posted the site that looks like this, our Weebly, that we ended up creating for NC Ties last year. And that has, let me just get to it. All right, so that has a little bit about presenters. Those are the projects that we shared on the videos. And then the handouts that we could provide, we provided. Of course, I couldn't give you all the Scholastic, the real world project book, because Scholastic were probably not very happy with me. But the stuff that I created from that, I went ahead and loaded. Same with the poetry, and then Miss Hornaday and Miss Herrick loaded their handouts as well.
We also have a page, I'm not sure what it's listed under, all the apps that we use. So you can see
Top
there
20.
are top 20. And
That was
they
gonna be
would
my
like-
question.
Yes.
So because whenever we go to teach something, we also want to learn, so we can expand our thinking. Is there anything that any of you can share with us on how you've used iPads in your classroom that we might think about bringing back to ours? Yes, ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
If I have a set of administrative marking, every year, my kindergartners are in charge of making a book for the next kindergarten class, and they have to choose person, place, or thing of the school, and we do a tour, and they take a picture of whatever they choose, and then they come back and type up a book so I can share it with the next kindergarten group coming up.
That's a great idea. How many of you got to stop and see some of our students out there?
Yes.
All right, so you noticed that they had the QR code. Could we actually go to QR stuff?
Yes.
As another, so we can show you how that works. I'm excited about two things. First of all, if you have a URL, so if you do a video and you upload it to YouTube, you copy and paste that URL into the website URL right there. You can scroll down just a little bit and scroll it's enlarging. And then it comes in all fashion colors, which I really enjoyed. So you just type in the URL and it creates the QR code. We then saved it as we viewed it through the windows like a picture,
Yeah.
and then we were able to save that, then to move that over to make our individual business cards.
And
So-
on Educreations, the link, when I did pull up the student, the link, once you click it, and it will start playing because it will have flash, then on the right is that URL code. I just copied that and put it into here to make their little business cards.
This is a new component that I found. It was plain text, which meant that I was able to go onto our curriculum map, copy a math word problem. They're coming up for dividing decimals in 5th grade. So I copied that problem, put it into plain text, created a QR code, and we're going to use the entryway, the classroom, and the hallways for students to go around and solve the word problems with the QR code. Now that we're blessed with so many iPads, we're still seeking to find out what format that we want them to show their work on. And because we want them to have a writing tool, I think we're going to do a combination of the notes so they can type out, do a piece of writing for that, as well as the collaborative piece to show their work using Show Me or Educreation. Okay, so if we just click that and create a QR code, and then we can do it. That's the QR code representative here. And where is it on this? We should do it on this scanner.
Just search it and just all the new uploads. Half of our iPads have the iOS 7 and the other ones don't, so we're still learning.
We might have one that doesn't go like that. So does anyone have a scanner on their phone? Yeah. Go to the right side. So if you scan that should take you to what she had just.
I've got kindergartners that can scan out QR codes.
So, and then it will pop up, and there's the question that I just typed.
I know that it's just plain text, and I'm working on it to see if I can get some diagrams in there. And I'm thinking that if I can get a diagram from, let's say, we use Case 21 for our benchmark assessments, and we can also go into DPI to gather some available questions for the students to practice on, then we can put it with a QR code. And Education.
These are, if you didn't see them, these were the little business cards that all of our students created, something like this, so that they could then share their projects. You can scan this project.
Because Ms. Hornaday doesn't want to talk too much. What she's also done too is the book projects that the students have created. Let's say our goal is to do more of those. So let's say you were going into the library and you picked out a book and it had a little QR code. You would take the scanner, scan that QR code, and here's someone from your school talking about the book as an advertisement. Or you would then see an iMovie trailer that had pictures from the book, and the students had typed in all of the lines of what they wanted to tell you that was most exciting about the book. So we're hoping to, again, apply for a teacher leadership grant money in order to have the professional development time to have all of the teachers do that. And whenever she thinks about something cool for reading, I think about how can that be used for math. So I want my students to become teachers of mathematics as well. So if they understand a concept, I want to create a body of lessons that they've created. So we have our own FBES Khan Academy. So they can go back and do that. Once we're able to post these videos, then we can assign them to students, and then they're not afraid to say, today in my Daily 5, I need a little bit of a review, so I'm going to take the iPad and my earbuds over to the corner and review some of the lessons. We recently got the funding for our school, our whole district has Discovery Education. So we have teacher leaders that are learning about that. And there are student boards, like a graphic board.
Bailey's created some.
Bailey, can we have you come up and log in and actually show us what you've done? And the teacher then created a board of multiplying decimals. So part of Bailey's Daily 5 rotation was to go into Discovery Ed and to watch the video and respond to the question that was associated to the video and put that response in their math notebooks. We aren't away from paper yet. We still need to have the children, especially at the elementary level, document their thinking. So we are still advocating for math and science notebooks, reading journals, but I also want to advocate for our ESL children, especially our younger ones. If we can show them how to use Educreation and these different tools, or to create an iMovie with pictures to describe what their experience was in their learning, that should also be a way that we can informally assess our students.
I think it's actually creative and more positive, all revolutionary war.
So Bailey, can you explain what Ms. Kinlaw asked you to do?
Well, she introduced the Discovery Education, website, and she showed me how to do a board builder, and she basically got me started, and she told me to just give a little bit of summaries for it and find videos.
Right. I think we have time to show them if you'd like to. Could you give us an introduction to this first? What is this video about?
This is about how England started taxing 13 colonies from French and Indian War, and they decided to go to war with England because they didn't think it was fair.
Thank you.
In May of 1775, as American militiamen surrounded Boston, the Continental Congress gathered in Philadelphia. The 45 delegates were greeted with parades and musket salutes. But to the British Crown, the distinguished members of the rebel Congress were outlaws. Every one of them could be hanged for treason. John Hancock, the wealthiest man in New England, had personally bankrolled the rebellion. Pennsylvania's most celebrated citizen, Benjamin Franklin, had just returned from rallying support in Europe for America's rebels. The radical orator Patrick Henry had been...
All right, so after, and then you added,
It came with like 3 text box when I first got it. So I basically just gave my best summary of what first happened and what happened is mostly in the video. And so
Right there. Go all the way down and show what you did next.
So this is a really cool thing. I found most of these videos on Discovery Education itself. So this is a really cool thing called Skill Builder, I think. And it's like this interactive picture. So it's really useful. You see a lot of learning about the Revolutionary War.
While you're waiting for that to come up, can you share the difference between doing something like this and opening up the textbook? No offense, Ms. Hornaday.
Well, this is a little more interactive, and it's a little more work than just reading out of the textbook. I like this one better because I can get more understanding out of it, and not just reading it over and over and over again. I can actually get more than one video if I need to.
About the same topic. We try to develop our lessons using the 5 E's, and it's a constructivist method of engaging the students in the topic, allowing them to explore with the expectation of them having elaboration. They need to be able to explain their thinking, and they need to evaluate their product. Evaluation is more than just an assessment at the end of the time, so she can then evaluate her project on what she felt was the best, what she would want to improve. So remember, education is improving all the time, so we want them to have the opportunity to see what they were able to do on their first tryout, and the next time she is building a board, she'll know what else she wants to do.
I think our MacBook Pro is a little bit too new.
Yeah, and I think it dropped into this folder.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to open that up. So can you use, does it allow you to go back to yours now? So we're about out of time, but I would like to have comments for our student leader, comments for us, so we can improve our presentation.
I mean, it'll be over in
Anyone
a
want
sec,
to
so
share class
I don't know if you need
deltas?
to call me or whatever.
Yes,
Can I
ma'am.
ask you a question about
I said-
keyboarding and iPad?
Is your mom
What are they
picking me?
doing with
I can't
at your
drive.
school?
Oh, never
For
mind. Don't
keyboarding?
worry about that then.
Well, can I tell you that my husband, who is here, used to be a business teacher teaching keyboarding, and I was always insulted by the Hunt and Peckers Now I'm a hunt and pecker because of the keyboard that's on the iPad. So, can you speak to that, Ms. Hornaday?
I can tell you, my kindergartners use thumbs. Okay, they can do more with their thumbs faster than I can with the keyboard.
And we still have 5 desktops in each classroom, so they have the keyboarding experience. And we like to use a practice website for them to do practicing their keyboarding.
And the first graders that came today, they're pretty quick on that little iPad keyboard.
Do they keyboard with their fingers like a regular keyboard?
They do a little
Two
fingers.
Bailey, did you do it on the iPad or on the desktop?
I did it on the desktop, but when we were showing it in class, we used to have to take it on the iPad.
Thank you.
On that Discovery Education website, is that something that is a paid service?
It is a paid service.
It used to be called United Streaming.
Yeah. We started it at our school 9 years ago when I first came because I had it at my own school, and so we've had it constantly. But Wake County just bought it for the whole county this year, so it's a little different. It's
And
a lot more.
our teacher leader course are doing that staff development on.
Is that where your students do most of their research off of Discovery Education? Or what sites do you allow them to have free access to?
I think some use Discovery Ed, not all.
It depends on the age of the child. Okay, in kindergarten, if they're going to do anything, I find it for them. A QR code takes them right there. Okay, I find a clip art for them. The older kids, we're trying to teach how to evaluate websites, okay, and how to search themselves in a safe environment. But Discovery Education is wonderful because it is a safe environment.
Google, we're trying to make sure that they know how to be very specific on what they search. But on iPads, not everything is as blocked as we want it to be. So we have run into that problem as well.
I know someone was asking about the Discovery Education Board. There's something very similar to it if your school district doesn't offer that service. It's called Vlogster.
Yeah.
It's very like a blog.
Yeah.
We did, 3 years ago, when we presented at NC we did VoiceThread. Now they have an app too, but we did the Vlogster. Isn't it paid now or is it still free?
Last time I checked, it was the students can create their own account and
Oh,
it's still
great.
free and they can upload it to Edmodo.
And that's safer too, because there's Vlogster EDU instead of just Vlogster. Yeah.
But you do have to be careful because some of the stuff on Vlogster, you got to make sure that it's the educational one and not the regular one because sometimes it can get a little racy.
Have you used it on the iPad or is that more?
I've never, our school district's getting iPads
Okay.
and
Great.
our students are getting it in January, so we're brand new with that. But I've used it before with my accelerated classes. I'm a middle school teacher and I teach English 1 and I've used the QR codes when we do our document-based questions, our DDQs and stuff. So that was very interesting to see if you were using it.
Yes, sir, and I'm not creating anything new. I'm going to our curriculum map and just copy and paste, which is always nice. Yes, ma'am?
KidRex, KIDREX, is Google for Kids.
Oh,
So we did a whole zoo project last year in first grade where we didn't have iPads last year, we had just like little netbooks. And so they were allowed to go on that and they each had a different animal and that you could find it in Detroit Zoo, which was in Detroit. And they typed in the name of their animal and could watch videos and read they were first grade, so they couldn't read all the articles, but I can imagine you can actually use it on, I just checked the iPad, some stuff the software
Like
doesn't
Vlogster,
work,
I don't think.
but it did work. And you could use one of the readers or whatever.
So is it just KidRex?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a great
.org, sorry, yeah.
There's another one too called Picks for Learning, and the 4 is the number 4.
And that's
PICS for
that's
learning.
got copyright free.
And Educreations, I've never come across when they're inserting pictures from the web. I've never seen something that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
I always monitor it very closely. Thank you for that, that's great.
Yeah, so my first graders were able to do it. They weren't able to read everything, but
Pebble Gov is really good for that too, if you do animal projects. It's a subscription service, Pebble Gov from Capstone. Very good because it reads it to them. Okay, it's got all the animals in the same format. Like habitat, food, diet, these are the ones. I use that with my first graders.
What was that? Pebble Go.
With bees,
Pebble Go.
like a stone.
They do like insects.
Yeah, they have insights on it too.
But it is like a subscription.
It is a subscription service, yeah. And it's got a certain number of databases, and you pay more for the number of databases in here.
Let me ask a specific question before you go. Was it helpful to see the children doing the things? Okay, because we were always worried like, oh my gosh, we've got 20 minutes of video for you to watch, and the kids interacting with it. And we felt that it was good, but it's because we know and love those children. It's almost like saying, come on over and see my family slides.
If you would like to contact us